Hey, it's Ryan from Upfit Supply, and today we're going to be unboxing a DuraTherm Ceiling Liner kit for our long wheelbase Ford Transit Connect. So let's get into it. Like I said, this is a DuraTherm Ceiling Liner kit for the Ford Transit Connect. It's specifically for the long wheelbase, and it's sold as a kit. You get your, you're going to get top sills, and you're going to get a ceiling liner. So we're going to start with the ceiling liner below. We ordered this in a textured gray. You can also get it in a flat white finish as well. And the thing about Legend liners is they are sold by your walls and your doors and your ceilings separately. And people always ask us, why do they sell it that way? Why do they sell the ceiling, the wall, and the doors separately? And number one is because it gives you flexibility. You don't always need door liners, you don't always need wall liners, you don't always need ceiling liners, and so you need to buy those separately. Another reason is because there's so many different variations of cargo vans, you know, wheelbase options, roof heights, single sliding doors, dual sliding doors, no sliding doors, hinged, all of that. You know, there's just so many different combinations, and there's a lot of shared parts between those, and so they just make it so you buy your doors, your ceilings, and your walls separately. That being said, these are precision cut to fit your specific cargo van. You can see just how precise these cuts are and these holes put in here. So make sure you're selecting the right wheelbase, roof height option, and all of that when you're buying your liners, because it does matter. They fit specific vans, and they make it super easy to install if you buy the right one. We got a bag of installation hardware here. These are actually all plastic clips. I like to call them Christmas tree. You got little push-in clips, rivets, whatever you want to call it. And for the ceiling liner, it looks like it's all just plastic rivets. We don't have any self-threading screws. Sometimes liners have to be attached that way. And we have our pre-drilled holes. And anytime you see a big hole like these ones, it means you got a push-in clip that's going into an existing hole in the ceiling. And so when you line this up, this is going to line up with a hole in the ceiling. You push in the plastic clip, give it a tap with a rubber mallet, and you're good to go. So we've got 4 pre-drilled holes here, kind of in the center of the liner. And we've got 5 here. I believe this is towards the front of the van. Right here, this goes against kind of the headliner above the cab. So all the hardware that we need. This is textured gray finish. I think I mentioned you can also get it in a flat white. Textured gray is nice because it adds a little bit more rigidity and protection, and also, you know, in my opinion, it doesn't show scuffs as easily as the white, or just a flat color in general. On the back here, we're gonna see our insulation. This is what makes DuraTherm DuraTherm. Legend, they offer another wall liner called Econolite, which, you know, if I flip this around, it's gonna look exactly the same for the most part. This is what sets DuraTherm apart. It's got a layer of insulation behind it. So if this was Econolite, it would just be, you know, gray plastic back here. We have a layer of reflective foil right here. And then underneath this, we have a layer of insulation, and then we have the plastic liner behind that. And, you know, if you've ever seen, you know, those medical blankets, little tinfoil things that you wrap yourself in to keep yourself warm, it's essentially what you're doing to the inside of your van here. You got this foil. This gives a lot of thermal protection here, and then we've got a layer of insulation behind that to reinforce that, as well as cut down on some noise. Liners in general cut down in noise, but when you add this layer of insulation, it really makes a big difference. One thing I want to point out here, while we're over here, is you can see some of this scoring that's on the back here. And the thing about the Connect is that there's some variation in the ceiling. You know, sometimes there's some foam or some plastic trim or whatever that you may want to cut the liner around, and they give you a template right here on the back to make that cut even easier. And so, yeah, flipping this back over to our textured gray side here, let's just take some quick measurements on how thick this is, and I'll use my caliper tool because it's a little bit easier when you're dealing with this tolerance. So with the insulation, we're looking at, what does that say? 0.36, so almost like 0.4 inches. I'm trying to find a spot that doesn't have the insulation. Okay, so without insulation, so just the plastic material here, is 1/4 inch thick. It's 0.256 inches. With the insulation, that brings us to 0.36, almost 0.4. So it does add, you know, a little bit of thickness having that insulation under there, but man, just this corrugated plastic alone, this is really what provides protection, is the plastic here. And you know, if you have a piece of equipment, some lumber, a chunk of steel, a tool, whatever that shifts around, hits the side of the van, well, in this case it's the ceiling, or you're loading in a ladder or whatever, and you nick the ceiling, you put a dent in there, it chips the paint, next thing you know you got rust. And all of that is great to have in this investment that you've made for your business with your work van. So this just protects the investment, as well as makes the interior more aesthetically pleasing, as well as you know the temperature control, sound control, all of that. So a great investment that you can make for your vehicle. And now let's open up these sills. So as far as I know, this is a Legend exclusive. I don't know of any other liner brands that offer these. And the sills really provide a nice transition between a wall liner and a ceiling liner. If you don't use sills, you kind of have this weird gap between the two liners. And so, you know, you can buy the ceiling without the sills, but I highly recommend getting these sills. So these are made out of aluminum, not gonna rust on you. And they have a diamond plate pattern there. So, you know, it's really kind of that work truck feel. If you get a Legend floor that comes with the aluminum sills, it matches. Coordinated look there in the back of your van. So again, this is aluminum diamond plate pattern here. We got a pre-drilled holes here for the included self-threading screws. So, no, I don't know exactly the configuration, how these get installed, so be sure to watch our install video, see how we install this in the van, and look at some more tips that way. So, great product here from Legend. This is a great investment you can make in your van. If you're looking for this or any other equipment to upfit your van to make it work ready, be sure to check us out at upfitsupply.com. Again, my name is Ryan, and have a good one.